Hello, girls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I see Princess Misa. How are you? Rename your device, Princess Brianna. Welcome, ladies. Please let me know where you're joining in from and make sure that your device is actually named to your name so that we're not calling you your mom's name, which could be a bit awkward. All right. All right. Oh, so sorry, girls. So tonight's session, we're going to be starting out with Brianna. I'll do a bit of riddles, and then we'll hand over to Princess Brianna. If you can hear me, let me see in the comments that you can hear me clearly. You can hear me, all right. Mandy's joining in from Canada as well. So if you can hear me, let me see, please. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Princess Mandy can hear me. Princess Tiffany, Princess Ayo, Princess Misa, Princess Divine, Princess Mandy, let me know if you can hear me, all right? I don't think the name Divine Afolabi is the right name. Okay. If it's the right name, then fine. Just put Princess in front so we know it's really you. Okay, you're joining in from UAE, Mandy's joining in from Canada. Fantastic. So who else? Who else? Welcome, ladies. So we're going to just start out with a little bit of a riddle. I'll just tell a little bit about the rules we have for the class, and then we'll do a little bit of a riddle, and then we'll kind of open the conversation. Our resource person for the class, the person teaching us today, is Princess Brianna. She's already on the call and ready to go. I just want to do a little bit of setting the ground rules, and then she will take over. So first things first. So you may actually use this device so that you can share your screen. Okay. So where do I begin? All right. So first and foremost, this is a learning space. And the thing about learning spaces is that people may not always have correct information, but it has to be a place where they can share that information so that they can get correction, they can get better insight. Now, if we come on the call and someone shares a thought about what they know, and we think that is not smart, it will discourage them from asking other questions. And the goal is to ensure that everyone is asking questions and getting answers at the boot camp. All right. So let's make this place friendly. Let's listen. Let's not harass anyone. We also want us to ensure that at every point, the conversation on the chat is about what we're talking about so that we don't get distracted. In addition to that, we'd like to ask that please people avoid posting emojis that may distract the entire class in the course of the learning. And once again, I want to thank you for coming. So let me start with my riddle now. Before I share the riddle, tell me something you heard from the ground rules. Tell me one rule, something you heard from the ground rules. Hello, Princess. Are you joining me from Edinburgh? Princess Miss Nancy, she's joining me from Canada. Fantastic. All right. So tell me one of the ground rules that you remember. So you can type it in the comments. Welcome, Tiffany. All right. Tell us the ground rules you can remember from everything I just shared. Oh, sorry. Let me see. All right. All right, let me see, let me see. This is a learning space. Fantastic, this is a learning space. All right. People should feel comfortable enough to ask questions that we have. All right, all right, all right. All right. Don't say someone's question is stupid. Fantastic. So this is a learning space. All right. So yes, no harassment. Yeah. So I'm ready for the riddle. All right. My very first riddle is this. I am something, the poor have it, the rich need it. Sorry. The poor have it, the rich don't have it. If you eat it, you will die. What is that? Something that the poor have, something that the rich never want to have. If you eat, you die. Joe, what do you mean? How do you know that the answer is nothing? Please, the time isn't that convenient. What time is the morning? So this session is designed for people living in diaspora. Not living in diaspora, this is not your class at all. We've already had a session for people living in Nigeria. So the class is not mandatory. The time is not mandatory, all right? This class is not mandatory for everyone. It's for people living in diaspora who right now, this could even be their afternoon. We are staying up late in the night in Nigeria to make this class happen for people living in other parts of the world. So if you're complaining about this class, this is not your class. There was a class that held this evening from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. That was your time. And the timetable is on the group. We shared all of that since in the morning. So right now, it's not our problem. This class this time is not convenient for us. So that's what I just wanted to put out there, all right? So the answer is nothing, actually. The poor have nothing. The rich don't want to have nothing. If you eat nothing, you will die. That's the idea. If you eat nothing, you will die, all right? So let's go to the next riddle. What can be measured but cannot be seen? What can be measured but cannot be seen? What can be measured but cannot be seen? Time. Okay. Miss One said emotions. Mandy said air. So these answers are looking really like it. Oh, people are saying joy and happiness, measured but cannot be seen. How do we measure joy and happiness? What's the gauge? How do we measure trust? All right. So the correct answer is time. All right. What has a head, a tail, but no body? What has you guys have been doing a whole lot of riddle stuff. What has a head, a tail, but doesn't have anybody, all right? That's a coin. That's very correct. That's very correct. Final riddle for tonight. What can you catch but not throw? What can you catch but you cannot throw it? What can you what can you catch but you cannot throw? So someone said disease, all right. Miss, I see you want to say disease, cold, all right. So I think the correct answer is cold. You can catch the flu, but you can't throw it. Yeah, you can catch the flu, but you can't throw it. You can catch a headache, but you can't throw it. But I think the right answer is cold. So having said that, I'm going to be bringing Princess Brianna on the call now. Okay, so don't worry, I'll share the slide for you. Don't worry. It's exhausting, but I'll try. So let me go to the slide now. I'm going to share Princess Brianna's slide. So for this bootcamp, we have a number of princesses that are teaching on, different lessons. And so one of the lessons today is taken by a princess called Princess Brianna, and she's going to be ready to go. So Princess Brianna, if you think you can handle sharing it by yourself, then come here. Come sit down here. Turn off your camera. So come this way. All right, come this way. So I need her to come sit this way and take the session. All right. All right, sit down. I don't know who's annotating on the screen. I'm sure that's a mistake. Okay, so let's go. Sit. All right. I'm going to turn on the camera now. Test it. So go ahead and speak.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
If you can hear her, leave a comment.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. So I am Princess Bryona, and this bootcamp is majorly about online safety. And this is like the 10th edition of the bootcamp. So this edition, the theme is online safety. So today we're going to be starting with a recap. If anyone has watched the replay of yesterday's class, I would really love to hear what you can remember and the points you took from yesterday's class. So today we're going to be talking about information literacy. So before I go into the main class, I would love to share my device story. I finally got a device about 2 weeks ago, and it is so restricted. My family has a lot of policies about how I use my device, and I can tell you firsthand that it is not funny. Like, for instance, I accidentally turned off my Wi-Fi a few days ago, and I can't turn it back on because of parental profiles and policy passwords, which I have no idea what it is. So until my mom puts in the password, I can't do anything. Mind you, I don't have TikTok, WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Threads. I don't even have games. Plus, I can't even take pictures because my camera is restricted. Some of my parents' rules and some of my parents' ground rules and policies on having device includes no devices in the bedroom, 1 hour of devices per day, no online sessions without supervision, and so on. So it is really restricting. Sometimes I'm thinking, so how am I supposed to have fun with this device? But I figure that we have to manage, unless, Posha, the device is not the only thing we do. We read books and all that stuff. Yeah. So now, as I said before, today's topic is information literacy. And our session beginner, a few points I think will help us on information literacy as we're going in. So number 1, don't share personal information online. Personal information, your passwords, home address, and other stuff. You can't share those things online because aside from the good people seeing those things, there are also bad people online who have bad intentions for people online. So it won't be really cool to get caught in a trap that they set online for people sharing personal information. Number 2, manage your own curiosity. Be careful about pop-ups. So managing your own curiosity and being careful about pop-ups. So today during the day class, we spoke about that. I think the best way to describe, and if someone asked me that what are pop-ups? Pop-ups are notifications that come up when you're playing a game or when you're online. And sometimes what they're showing you on the screen is not really what's behind the pop-up. So if you click a pop-up, you can show you something completely different from what you saw when I saw the notification. So it's best to manage your own curiosity. And also, when you think your curiosity is getting too wild, it's best to just delete the message or email, because like if you think your curiosity is going to take over, I think it's best to get rid of the source so that even if the curiosity seems to want to take over, by the time you go back to check, it's not there again. Number 3, sharing it is always a bad idea. There's a blackmail and there's blackmail and mental health problems that always come with trending for immoral reasons. Sharing nudes is a way of trending through immoral path, and sharing it is really, really a bad idea because blackmail, and aside from the fact that you're going to get blackmailed, your parents are also going to get blackmailed. And when they get blackmailed, it tends to be, you have to pay us this amount of money, unless we're going to show these pictures with someone, this person. And it also comes with mental health problems like depression and anxiety, because you're going to feel so depressed. Considering going to school, you've shown a picture of yourself not dressed, and you're so embarrassed, and it's literally inappropriate. And you go to school and people are seeing you, they're no longer seeing you the way they're seeing you before because they've seen something else outside of what they're seeing now. Number 4, always log out of public system. I think I'm going to join number 4 and 5. Always log out of public systems. People can solicit funds as you. So when you log out, when you go to school, let me go to school. In school, let me say you have the computer lab and you go to school to use the system, you signed in, you finished doing everything, and you got home and you forgot that you didn't log out of the system. That is very, which word will I use? Yeah, that's very risky considering other people are also using those things. So if someone with bad intentions opens the system and sees your account, they can use it, they can defraud people, and they're not basically hacking you because like sort of like you're the one that gave them free entry. So it's best to log out of public systems, and people can also solicit and steal funds using you. So people think you're the one doing it, but no one has an idea that maybe your account has been hacked. Yeah, there are people that would think that your account has been hacked, but there are also people that would think that you're the one doing it. Number 6, be careful about accepting friend requests from people you don't know. So accepting friend requests from people you don't know. On different social media accounts, there's this thing about getting friend requests and all that. And when you get friend requests from people you don't know, it tends to be not all the time, but most of the time it's really not most of the time, but sometimes it's really dangerous, considering you don't know, especially if it's a stranger, someone, and also it, especially if it's a stranger and you don't know the person, you've never met the person, or maybe you saw the person somewhere, hi, bye, and that's all. So the person is still a stranger. I think it's best to accept friend requests from people that you know physically, like your best friend, or well, not even, I won't say your classmates, unless there are few of them that you really know really well. But I don't, because your classmates tend to be even strangers because you only see them for like 8 hours a day and that's all. So you don't know their other character and all that. So it's best to accept friend requests from people you know. Number 7. Until you're a certain age, keep your inbox closed. So keeping your inbox closed means that until you're a certain age where you know you can answer emails with through critical thinking, mean that you're not making the wrong choices when you're sending emails. It means that you should keep your inbox closed and that. So I also thought about this. When you're having a project, when you have a project and you're like posting it online, it's like a campaign. Do you use your real email? I don't think that's best. It's best to create an email for the project so that way you're like, it's best to create an email account for the project so that way there's no blackmailing and no one is trying to so that way no one is trying to steal from you because they know that the account is not only you that is bearing it, there are other people there. And finally, number 8, be careful about attachments from known and unknown people. It's best. So attachments include like someone sent you a message and after the message, there's still like a box there. Sometimes it's from Gmail and every other thing, and it's an attachment to the mail. It's best to not open it from both known and unknown people, except like it's from your mom or your dad and probably your siblings. But aside from that, I don't think it's best to open attachments because the attachment can seem really okay on the outside, but by the time you click it and open it, you don't know if it's going to spread a virus into your system or if it's going to show some inappropriate content that might probably haunt you for the rest of your life. And I'm going to read the last statement. The online world is a place for vast information exchange. What you learn about is not always factual. Strive to be more media literate. This is another word for questioning what you hear. So now, on to the next part. Now, this is the main thing of the session. Here are some tips on information literacy. So these are like the tips you use to scan information, knowing whether it's credible. So number 1, check the source. Verify the information's author, publication, and date. Verify the information's author. So it's best to go online and search for the person that wrote the information and like go through their past posts so you can tell if the person is a credible, if the person's information is correct or they are not truthful. They're like clickbait. The publication and the date. So the date tends to tell you that this current information, not past information and all that. Number 2, evaluate the purpose. Why was the information created? Is it to inform, persuade, or entertain? So, Princess Irene gave this example when she was teaching, when she was explaining some parts to us in the afternoon session. She spoke about a time when I can't remember the year she said, but she spoke about how she was scrolling through her social media feed one time and she saw a post that said, that women with low cut have low self-esteem. And she had to scan the information and tell if the information was correct, only to find out that the purpose of the post was to, pardon?
The person that funded the article.
Only to find out that the person that funded the article was a hair stylist and all that, hair cream company. And so they basically posted it. So when people with low cut seeds, they want to grow their hair, and is their cream that they're going to go and buy or use. So it's best to evaluate the purpose why the information was created, so that you don't go ahead making an uninformed decision. Number 3, consider multiple sources. Don't rely on just one source. Look for diverse perspectives and viewpoints. I think I'm going to... Okay, I think I know how I'm going to do this. Consider multiple choices. Watch for bias. Consider multiple sources. Watch for bias and check facts. So when you do those 3, I know that those are 3 different points, but there's a way I'm going to explain it so that we all get it. When you consider multiple sources, it tends to see the diverse perspectives and viewpoints, reducing chances of bias when you're reading through the news. Well, I hate news. I don't even know why I had to teach on this, because it's really weird teaching on. Well, consider multiple sources, watch for bias, and check facts. So when you're reading from different sources, it's better when you read from different sources, it reduces chances of bias. So when you're reading from here, when you see this person's viewpoint, you see this person's viewpoint. You can now see the 2 sides, and you're not just reading from one side and citing this person where you don't know what happened on the other side. That's why it's best to check facts. So even after you read from multiple sources, it's best to verify statistics, quotes, and data with other credible sources. So that's like going to Google to search for information, going to ChatGPT and all that. Next, be cautious of online sources. Anyone can publish online. Look for reputable websites, academic journals, and government sources. So, yes, there's no law that says specific people can post online. Everyone has the right to post online. So, when anyone can post online, there's no limits to what they can post. They can post lies and they can post truth. It's all based on their fingerprints and their fingers and their mindset. So, when they post, it's best. So, when you see someone's post, it's not all the time that you can tell whether the information is true or not. So it's best to, so even after you look at the post, you can go to other reputable websites and academic journals and other government sources to verify if the information is correct. That way, it reduces chances of, it reduces chances of carrying around wrong information. Number 7. Yeah, number 7. Use fact-checking websites. Sites like Snopes, link unavailable, and PolitiFact can help you verify information. So yeah, those sites are, they're like fact-checking websites, and they're fact-checking websites or reputable websites, so that you can get good information there, even after you check some. So let me say you're scrolling to your feed and you saw some information that you don't think is true or you think is true. I think it's best to just go to either Snopes, PolitiFact, because that way it can help you to verify the information depending on whether it's true or not. Number 8, read beyond headlines. Sometimes headlines don't accurately reflect the content. Read the article before sharing. So yes, it's best to read beyond headlines, because I gave this example in the afternoon class. Read beyond headlines. So I gave this example in the afternoon class. You are scrolling through your phone and you saw a heading on the news that says something like, "Well has increased by 30%." And you didn't read the article. And you're like, "Oh my God, well has increased from 1,200 to this percent." And you go to school and you're talking like, "How have you heard? This one has increased from this one." And then you didn't read the information accurately. And as it said here, sometimes headlines don't accurately reflect the content. So people that have read the article and also seen the headline can tell that you didn't calm down to read it. So it's not all right. It's best to read the article properly, and it's best to read the article properly and evaluate it before you start sharing it with other friends and classmates and all that. Next, use academic databases. For research, use school databases or online libraries like Gestor, EBSCO, or ProQuest, because those help in giving more accurate information, especially when you're trying to work on a homework or something that has to do with education, because those places were literally set out for educational aspect. So if you're looking out for something based on education, the best sites to go to are Gestor, EBSCO, or Process. I'm not saying there aren't other online libraries, but yeah, there are. And it's best to use academic database because those ones were set apart on education. So the information there will majorly be educational. Number 10, sorry. Ask questions. If you're unsure about information, ask the teacher, librarian, or other trusted adults. So it's not best to stay online and believe everything. It's okay to also ask people around your social life because they also have a viewpoint to things. Stay up to date. Information can change quickly. Make sure your sources are accurate. So yes, make sure your sources are accurate. So you have to stay up to date, not carrying about information from a while ago, because information changes really quickly. So you have to have it in mind to stay on point and up to date, because and it also talks about the sources you have, because the sources you have can also, so that's why it's best to evaluate the person you follow and make sure their information and everything's up to date. Yeah. And last and probably the least is use critical thinking. Engage your brain, analyze information, identify patterns, and make informed decisions. So yes, aside from doing all these things and finding out all these things online, you should also use critical thinking, engage your brain, exercise the muscles in your brain by analyzing information. So even after you see it, you should still analyze the information, see where the dots are connecting, and be able to make informed decisions. Yeah. And the statement, I'm going to read the statement. By following these tips, teens can become savvy information consumers, navigating the digital world, confidence and discernment. So, can anyone share what they've heard so far? Would anyone like to share what they've heard so far, or questions you have? Mm, okay, Princess Mandy.
Okay, evening everyone. I have a question about when you mentioned something about your email address and all. You said that they can use they can use your email address to steal money for you and all those stuff. What about if you're a boarder, or if you're in a boarding school? How can they use your email address against you?
Okay, a good question. So how can they use your email against you? I think that, or not really, I think that using your email address against you, let me say.
You want me to say something before you talk?
Okay, ma.
All right, so the whole idea about your email is that number one, if someone has access to your email, they can go around, solicit money from people, that is send emails like you're on your behalf. Some adults are experiencing it now, where you just sit down and someone sends an email to all the people in your mailbox that, oh, you're stranded, you need some help, and you need some money. Those people can send money to a total stranger based on the trust that they have for you. So they would think it's you, and as a result of that, you'll experience loss. So that's one of the things that can happen. Number two, if you have accessed an email account from a particular IP address, IP address means maybe when you are at home, you access your email in a particular place. It can actually lead to people who want to track information of the people sharing that same IP address. I don't know much about hackers, but I know that very little information about you can be exploited for someone to either hack into your, if you're using the same IP address say, as your parents, for example, you've gone to boarding school, you're in school, but your parents are still using that IP address. Someone can use it to hack their banking, someone can use it to get into their mail, someone can use it to do anything. So when it comes to our emails, we need to maintain the highest level of privacy. So some of us are very free. We say we have a best friend as our password. It shouldn't be so. We have to all make sure that our email is private, exclusive to us, and we don't easily sign in into any system. So for example, if you have an email for schoolwork, let that be the only email that is open on the school system. And make sure that that email is only schoolwork related. You're not interacting with anybody per se outside of that mail. In the event that you forget to log out in the public system, that email is like something you just use within the school. It shouldn't be the major email that is all over the place. And when you're young, we always recommend that keep your email addresses private. Somebody, even while you're in boarding school, somebody can be sending you mails, tons of mails, threat mails, mails to swindle you, to get you to buy something or defraud you. It could be anything. So essentially, you just need to be careful. Does that help, Mandy? Give Mandy unmute information.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you a lot.
All right, thank you. All right, any other princess wants to share before we get into scenarios? So Karen is going to share some scenarios, and all of us are going to propose solutions to it. Scenarios about situations that different girls have been in. We'll take 3 of such scenarios, and then we'll go ahead. Do you want to start sharing?
Okay, I'm ready.
Is your screen open? Okay. All right, go ahead.
So scenario 1. Sarah loved keeping up with her friends on social media, and it was a great way to stay connected with everyone. One evening, she was scrolling through her feed when she came across a post from her friend Emma. The post was a simple selfie with Emma smiling brightly, captioned with positive messages about self-confidence. Sarah was about to leave a supportive comment when she noticed something that made her pause. A hurtful comment left by someone she didn't know. The comment was mean-spirited, mocking Emma's appearance and making fun of her smile. As Sarah read it, she felt a surge of anger and sadness. She couldn't believe someone would say something so cruel to her. But then, Sarah was faced with a tough decision. Should she ignore the comment and move on, or should she take action? Sarah began to think critically about her options. If I ignore the comments, I won't be drawing attention to it. And maybe Emma won't even notice. But what if she already has? What if she's hurt and feels like no one is standing up for her? If I respond to the comment, I could defend Emma and show her she's not alone. But what if it starts a bigger argument? What if the person who wrote the comment says even more hurtful things? Would reporting the comment be the best option? The platform might remove it. But what if the person just keeps posting negative things elsewhere?
All right. So what should we do? On
Okay.
So let's hear you, girls. What do you think Sarah should do? What do you think Sarah? I mean, her friend has been harassed. What do you think she should do? You can leave it as a comment, and you can also raise up your hands, so that you can talk. I would actually prefer you to speak. Yeah, would prefer you to speak. All right, or you can leave it as a chat if that's what works for you. So I see your comment, Princess Mason, saying one of the things you learned from the session was we need to know the sources where we are taking information. All right, Manuela says, I think she should just tell an adult first off. That's excellent. That's a good one.
Okay.
All
Princess
right.
Mandy wants to speak.
All right. So give her permission to unmute.
Okay, I feel that Sarah should either ignore it or she should talk to her friend about it to help her or to help her know that someone is with her, not really fighting in the comment section. It may not really help Emma. I think she should talk to Emma by herself. Or if she feels that she can't do it, she can talk to a trusted adult about it.
Fantastic. So
Okay.
standing up doesn't need to be in the comment section. All right. Emanuela wants to speak, so unmute her.
So I personally feel that if someone should get harassed, the first thing they should tell is like a trustable adult. Let's say someone they can really look up to that can handle the situation. Because if they tell their friend, obviously that friend will not be able to suggest the best possible advice. So it's better they tell a trusted adult so they can get therapy and stuff like that.
Okay.
Fantastic. That's a good one. Because trusted adults always, they know what to do. They know what to do. So Brian, do you want to go ahead and read some of the comments?
Okay. Coming.
Start with Emmanuel's comments.
So Emanuela says she thinks she should tell an adult, like a trustable adult. Princess Mishan says, depending on the social media site, she can report the person. Yeah. Joy says, Princess Joy says, I think she should not take laws into her hand. First, talk to Emma, then report to a trusted adult. Sorry, who's Samsung SM? Okay. She says, Sarah should comfort her friend and remind her to ignore the negativity coming from the individual's comments. Princess Tiffany says she should tell Emma to ignore it because bullies only seek for reactions. And what the comment said doesn't matter. Wow.
Fantastic. So let's take Princess Glory's comment.
Princess Glory said, I think she should seek advice from an adult or guardian. Yeah.
All right, so you know, go ahead and read the scenario. What Sarah finally did.
Okay. Coming. So, after considering her options, Sarah decided to approach the situation with care. Number one, private support. First, Sarah decided to reach out to Emma privately. She sent her a message letting her know that she saw the comments and she thought it was completely unfair and untrue. Sarah reassured Emma that she was beautiful and that the comments said more about the person who posted it than it did about her. By offering private support, Sarah made sure Emma knew she wasn't alone without escalating the situation publicly. Number two, reporting the comments. Next, Sarah decided to report the comments to the social media platform. She knew that many platforms have rules against bullying and harassment, and she hoped that by reporting it, the comments would be removed. This way, she could take action without directly engaging with the person who wrote the hurtful words. Number three, promoting positivity. Finally, Sarah left a positive comment on Emma's post, which would drown out the negativity and remind everyone of the good in the world. She wrote, Emma, you look amazing and your smile is so contagious. Don't let anyone bring you down. Soon after, a few of their mutual friends chimed in with their own supportive messages, creating a wave of positivity on Emma's post.
Wow. All right, let's take one more scenario.
Okay, let's go to scenario 2. One afternoon, as Sarah was finishing up her homework, she noticed a notification on her tablet. She had received a new email from an unknown sender. The subject line read, Important, please read and respond immediately. Curiosity piqued. Sarah opened the email. The message was short and vague, claiming that the attachment document contained important information that she needed to see right away. The sender's name wasn't familiar, and there was no explanation about what the attachment was. Sarah hesitated, her finger hovering over the attachment, but something didn't feel right. She had been taught to be cautious online, but the word important made her feel like she needed to do something quickly. Sarah's mind began to race with questions. Why would someone I don't know send me something important? Could it be from a company or maybe a mistake? What if it's a scam or something dangerous? Could the attachment have a virus that could harm my device? Should I open it just to see what it is, or should I ignore it and hope it's nothing? Who can I talk to about this? Is it something I should handle on my own, or should I ask for help? So, anyone's ideas on what Sarah should do? Okay. Princess Joy said, report, include it in spam, and delete it fast. Good. Anyone else? Princess Tenny says, block the individual to prevent harm or more messages. Okay. Anyone else? Princess Mandy says she should ignore it and talk to a trusted adult. Good. Princess Misan says, block the email and send it to spam so you don't get it again. Princess Glory says she shouldn't open the link and talk to a guardian. Princess Tiffany says, lately all these mysterious messages are you in hacking. She should delete and block the sender to avoid issues. Great. Okay. Fantastic. Anyone else? All right, so go ahead and read your own paper. So let's find out what Sarah did. Here's how Sarah approached the situation. Don't open the attachment. Sarah knew the safest step was to avoid opening the attachment. She realized that it could be a trap. Hackers often use tricks like this to get people to download harmful software onto their devices. Number two, analyze the sender and content. Sarah looked closer at the email. The sender's address was a string of random numbers and letters, which didn't look like a legitimate company or person. The message was also very generic, with no specific details about who it was from or what it was about. This raised even more red flags. Number 3, seek advice. Sarah decided not to handle this on her own. She knew that online safety was important and that it was better to ask for help than to risk making a mistake. She decided to call her dad over and show him the mail. Her dad agreed that it looked suspicious and was proud of Sarah for not opening the attachment. Number 4, report the email. Together with her dad, Sarah marked the email as a spam and reported it to her email provider. They also checked to make sure that her antivirus software was up to date, just in case. Her dad explained that reporting suspicious emails helps to prevent others from falling for similar traps. And number 5, delete the email. After reporting it, Sarah deleted the email without opening the attachment. She felt relieved knowing she had made the right choice and avoided a potentially dangerous situation. The end. All right. No, let me host. Don't go to the class slide. Just unmute you. I'll make it.
Unmute yourself because of echoes. All right, girls. So I want to hear questions you have. Mute your device, Brianna. Questions that you have. What did you think about this? Any questions? I don't want us to take any more scenario because it's really late night for us. This is 11:23 p.m. our time, and we wanted to make sure that the girls in Diaspora had their own session like this. So we need to start wrapping up soon, but we want to hear questions that you have. Is there anything that came to mind, something that happened in school that you wanted to just bring so we could talk about it, so you know maybe the thing has already happened and passed in terms of online safety, but like the situation that someone was in, or maybe yourself, you could bring it up for us to talk about it. So, is there anyone that wants to speak on anything? So we can just have that conversation to say, oh, if this happens again, this is the right thing to do. If apart from that, you could also leave additional comments, maybe some things that you know about online safety that you'd like us to have in mind. While you're on that, I just want to mention to you that tomorrow is the last day of the camp, and tomorrow's class is going to be not on the risk anymore. We're going to be talking about opportunities online. When you come online, what are some fantastic opportunities online? I don't know whether this was a class, but yesterday in the morning session, I remember sharing with you guys that look, when it comes to online, the internet is neutral. Yes, I have to turn open my camera now. The internet is neutral. That means the internet is not good or bad. It's really about what people do with it, what people create with it, what people distribute with it, actions people take with it that determines whether it's good or bad. So if a good person takes good actions, distributes good stuff, then for that person, the internet is a productive space. For the ones that do the wrong thing, for those people, the internet is destructive. So, but tomorrow we want to be sharing about some mega opportunities that are out there that you can take advantage of. All right. So while we're at that, I'm looking at the comments. I didn't see any new comment, but I saw some new people just come in. Princess, am I correct? Okay, no. But I just saw one person just coming now, and I can't place who the person is, but I want to thank everyone that is already here. All right. Okay, Miss Nan said, this was very informative. I have a comment. My email is managed by my school district, so they filter links and strange emails as well as many social media. Yes, Miss Ann, this is the best thing that schools can do, So they're protecting you against this risk already. All right, they're protecting you against this risk already. I look forward to a time where schools in Nigeria will be able to do this for their students. So this is amazing. This is helping you in so many ways. So now you may have some people who are very irresponsible who say, well, open another email that, so that we can exchange stuff. Don't, because that other email may not have the covering that your school email is providing for you. Tania says she should also ask her parents to enable a VPN to prevent bots or hackers from accessing her email. So that's advanced technology tools now that can be used to protect your devices. Excellent. That's a really good idea. I'm going to have to go and learn a little more about how enabling VPNs can protect and prevent bots and hackers. I'd like to learn more about that. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tenny, for sharing. So is there anyone else that has something to share? Anyone? Any thoughts, ideas, recommendations, some experience? We're always happy to hear you. All right. Anyone? Okay. So in the absence of any other comments, okay. Tiffany has something. There's a particular number that calls my mom's phone every month. It shows it's owned by a scammer, but even after blocking this number, it's still calling. Is this hacking or a virus attack? Whoa, this is serious. So she blocks the number, but it keeps calling her back. How is that possible? Is the person using an over-the-internet line to reach out to her? My God, is the person changing the person? So I think maybe she could report to the internet service provider directly. I don't know how it works in the country you live, but the person, she needs to make a formal report with the internet service provider about the number that keeps calling her so that something can be dealt with. That person can be dealt with. VPNs are softwares made to protect information. I mean, it's mind-numbing that she's blocked the number, but the person is still calling. All right. Ma, please, what if your friend has been harassed and she has turned to a wayward life? What should she do? My God. So I'm imagining that what you're trying to say is your friend went online and started seeing some content, and because of that, her lifestyle has changed. Is that correct? So I don't know if you give us a little more detail so that we can work on that. So, but the very first thing for me is once someone derails, the first thing we do, we pray. All right, so explain to me what that means. Oh, oh. So when you say she has turned to a wayward life, what do you mean by that? What is she doing now that is questionable? Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. You know, when girls go through sexual molestation, it can mess up with their mind. First, it messes up with their sense of self-worth. It can mess up with their idea of, I mean, why did God let that happen to me? And Satan can truly take advantage of those kinds of questions to push his own ideas, to push his own thing, to make her feel like there's nothing left to protect. If this has happened, it has happened. But it's a lie. Many years ago, I was working on a particular boot camp like this. I think it might have been our first boot camp. All right, so okay. So please give Princess Emanuela opportunity to speak. I'll talk about our first boot camp and understanding rape from another lens. Please give Emanuela permission, unmute her. Manuela, please unmute.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. So I have a particular friend. I can't say she's my friend though, but she's a classmate. She was raped.
Okay.
According to her, she was raped. So due to that, let's say the trauma has made her live a very wayward lifestyle in school. So she just go around from one boy to another. And based on what she says, her mother doesn't help matters because her mother is just like that. I don't want to use the word like prostitutes, but yes, that's the type of legacy her mother lays down for her. And then she does not know what to do because that become part of her. She says she wants to change, but she just can't change. So she has given up on basically everything. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So, one of the things I want to say for people like that is they need a new environment. What I mean is, for instance, if she came to the camp, she would be able to ask precise questions. So if you've been raped before, and then if a person, not you guys, for example, if a person has been raped before, then they live in a space where there is no body honor as a culture. There's no value for the body as it can lead to a conflicting thing. Somebody did something harmful to me. I should be getting justice for this. But all around me, people are doing as if having sex is not a big deal. So it's really conflicting. And right now, I tell you that you need to prioritize praying for her. If you told yourself that every single day you spend 10 minutes praying for her, it will do a number of things. First, it will push her into the environment where the right information will come. I wish I could see her one on one and talk with her. But usually, when I even have access to girls like that, as long as they're going back home to an environment that encourages a vice that they're struggling with, it can be hard. So she needs a change of environment. Um, you just need to keep praying for her. And then when you have moments to talk to her, you need to ask her that what kind of future does she want to have? What kind of future does she hope to have? And then you can also let her know that everything she's done right now, everything she's experienced right now can be in the past. I know that when people are raped sometimes, it doesn't happen with everyone. But when someone is raped, it can lead to them thinking that they are no longer worthy, and it can make them become needy. They want validation. They want somebody that likes them. And the thing about puberty and being young people is that you like someone, then you don't like them again. Then you like someone, then you don't like them again. You like someone. So it looks as if she's going from person to person, but it's just a cycle of crushes. You like it expires, you like it expires. That's what the cycle she's going through. Now, if for every cycle of likeness she's doing other things that are terrible, is like digging her deeper into the hole. So you need to let her know that she can start again, she can make a new beginning, she can work her way back and start planning her future. If her mother is not a positive example, connect her with your mother. Your mother can start putting an eye on her, checking up on her. She needs, like I said when I started, she needs a new environment, someone putting in front of her a new sense of reality. I think I saw Mandy's hand up for a bit. So give Manuela permission. My district is Catholic, so I think it doesn't work for public schools in my city. They manage the emails, but they don't filter things. So public school children aren't protected. So they contact drug dealers and can contact older boys like 17 and 18. Many of them are exposed to drugs and a bunch of other horrible things. This is crazy. From experience, never try to dwell on her future. Try to fix her personality as of now. So why do you say that? Telling a girl what you want as a future is like pressure on her shoulder during the situation. No, you're telling her, let me tell you something. There's a hopelessness she feels now that feels like it can never get better. So in telling her that it can't get better, right from where you are, it can't get better. The future is not 10 years from now. The future is tomorrow morning. The future is next week. So what changes can you start making, starting with changes in your mind? The future is not 5 years from now. The future is not 10 years. So in that hopelessness of thinking that things will never get better, is bringing a glimpse of hope to say, you never can tell. In talking to God, in praying to God about it, God will literally lay steps in front of you, one step in front of the other, and it will get better. So the future we're talking about is not far. The future we're talking about is to bring a glimpse of hope into her heart to know that it can get better. People like that need to know that things can truly get better because all they see is what has happened, what is not working, and their sense of that experience is desperate. So that's how it can be. All right. So it's not future of 5 years from now. It's tomorrow can be better. So if tomorrow can be better, what do I need to do to experience a glimpse of it? Come to my house tomorrow. Let's talk. Come to my house tomorrow. I'll talk with my mom. Or come to my house tomorrow. Let's go and play a game. Let's hang out. She needs positive experiences, but all of this has to be happening prayerfully. So you've even said it. Why are we trying to fix her personality? What will motivate her to want to go with you to fix her personality? Is giving her that glimpse of hope. Emanuela wants to say something, please. Emanuela wants to say something. Unmute her mic. All right. Thank you, Tenny. Thank you. Have you unmuted her? Miss Brianna? Okay.
Good evening, ma. Ma, what if you want to be on TikTok? Let's say you have a very like extra. Let's say you have you're an extrovert. You have this personality that you're very social, and you really love content creation. What if you want to be on TikTok and your mom just like, no, you can't be on TikTok? How do you convince her?
So tomorrow we are going to first be talking about if you wanted to go online and let's say you wanted to become a content creator, what should you know? Your parents' biggest concern is you putting up something that does not represent the family value. Do you know that? That's their primary concern. That you're going to put out something that does not represent the family value. Number two, are you going to know how to manage time and schoolwork? They don't want it to consume you. You might become a content creator and be successful, but they know that all of these things are cycles. There was someone that was trending 2, 3 years ago online, is no longer trending. So they don't want you to, at when the cycle of popularity passes, you have nothing left. Maybe you had dropped out of school and you know that kind of thing. That your parents don't want that for you. So it means that having a plan that shows them that you're doing something solid, something useful, and it's not going to stop you from going through school can help. Yeah, your parents' decisions are always the best. I know someone that is over addicted to social media. So again, your parents know you. So I know someone who I met her 2 years ago. She came to my school to do a project. Her parents have a policy. Everything they do is only during the holiday. And they're doing it in partnership with their parents. You can, I mean, so those are the two things. Will you put out content that are questionable? Number two, would you use it responsibly? By responsibly means, would you know when it's time for you to get offline? Would you know when, I mean, they don't want social media to take the best of you. And I feel like there's truly time for everything. And in many cases, I would say finish school first. I know it's not finish school first for everyone, but when you come tomorrow, that's what we're talking about tomorrow. How do you create social media content that even your parents will be proud of? How do you go about it in a way that is wholesome and everything? Because our parents They know what it is they're talking about. I want you to think about it this way. Your parents know people that were as excited about other things when they were younger, and they've seen how these people ended up. So somewhere at the back of their mind, they're wondering, is this script about to replay with my own daughter? So somebody said, okay, Tenny, I post my art online for the people of the art community to help with tips, but I did this with my parents' verification and monitoring. Always let parents monitor and aid you on your social journey. 100%. I mean, 100%. The one people who want to support you are your parents. Those are the one people. And whenever they are in disagreement, there's something they are not clear about. Yes, we can do meaningful and creative things. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. So tomorrow's session is going to be amazing. I would have loved for everybody to attend the morning session, but because tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow is Saturday, and people are not in school. I don't know if you guys can plan to join the morning session so that we don't have to do the evening session. It might really help us. So if everyone comes out for the morning session, it's going to be explosive. We have conversations around if you like 5, 6 strategic things you can do with social media. And that includes if you have a talent that you want to engage with the community, that is that's it. I help my mom advertise her business online. Yeah. So again, we're going to talk about if you have a product you want to use online, you want to become an influencer, different things. If you're looking out for scholarships and opportunity, you have a talent, you want to build a portfolio. We'll be looking at all of that tomorrow so that you learn how to do this strategically. So how many people will be able to join tomorrow morning session since tomorrow is not a school day? If tomorrow is not a school day, can you plan to come out in the morning? If tomorrow is not a school day, can you plan to be out in the morning? All right, Princess Lisa wants to speak, all right? Unmute Lisa. Start going to your closing slides since you love showing it. I've had a long day. You have a training tomorrow morning. Sure, if it doesn't work, we'll still do 2 classes in the morning.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
You hear me? Okay. Content creation is one of those things that I've always wanted to do, but I like to talk about politics and
Okay.
like I really, really like politics. And I feel like I want to start, and I talked to my parents about it, and they said that they might give me the green light, but my own problem is like on the internet, like many people aren't really ready or want to hear the ideas of someone my age. So like how would I navigate that?
So I think you need to detach from the idea of what people would be interested in and what they will not. You have to show up. You get the idea? When you show up and start talking, you'll find your audience. That's really how it works. You get? So don't worry about most people yet. You're not going out for most people. You're going to look for young people who would be interested in a young person's perspective to political issues. There are also adults, grown people, who want to encourage the next generation of political leaders or, technocrats in the future. So they are also looking out for you, Misa. So don't worry about the people who will find it boring or who will find it not interesting to listen to, because there are people who are looking for you. And so you can actually become a trailblazer, starting a conversation that pulls other people and gets other people into content creation around politics. Now, for people like you, your parents will not have a problem following you, but they'll care about the opinions that you're putting out there because they don't want you to air an opinion that puts them, on the spotlight, where maybe people in opposition start to look at them a funny way because you hold certain opinions. So again, your parents will be able to guide you. But when it comes to the people in the public, I promise you, you would find your audience. Is that okay? All right, fantastic. You'll find your audience, okay? So Glory, I've actually shared with everyone the timetable for tomorrow. So it means that your session tomorrow is actually 3:30 p.m. West African time. 3:30 p.m. That's what your time is. So it's not necessarily in the morning, it's just the first session of the day. So it's 3:30 p.m. To 4:45 p.m. West African time. And tomorrow we're doing a combined class with your age group and 15 to 17-year-olds, because you're learning the same thing about leveraging the opportunities on social media. All right. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So let me see. That's about it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. So Brenna is sending her bye-byes. So go ahead and say your goodbyes. Somebody asked a question. Is this the only class for this month? No. We have 3 classes. Okay, we have the boot camp and we have the squad classes. So we have a mentoring circle for girls of your age, where we meet 3 times, where we meet every Saturday for something. Sometimes one Saturday you're watching a lesson online. Another Saturday we have both lesson and a live session. It's called the mentoring squad. I think Miss San is on the mentoring squad, all right? So it helps, honestly. It helps. So I'll put information on how, if you're not yet on the squad, how you can be a part of the 10/10 girls squad. So Brian, I'm sure you've given everyone permission to unmute. All right, so let's say our bye-byes
No, we're
as we
rounding
go.
up. Yeah, we're rounding up. Exactly. Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
everybody, for
Joy, we have
joining.
not yet started going out. We will. Joy, we have not yet started going out as a group, but we will. We definitely will. We are working on something. We definitely will. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
I'll note
everyone.
that. Thank you. Bye. Take care of you. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
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 All right.
See you tomorrow class. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
My bum hot. I need to go stand up for a few minutes.
Bye.
Quiet.
Bye. Wait, what, mommy?